Yeah. How are you doing today? So good. Sorry, please let them move my slide so that I can work with time. Alright, so I'm not a practicing developer, but I learned smart contract development. Okay? So let's just do a brief introduction to you so that we can get started. Alright, so my name is Godswill Akpan, and it's nice to meet you. Please tell your neighbor your name. No, tell your neighbor your name. Tell your neighbor your name. Alright, so hello. So my name is Godswill, and this is me. I'm a public speaker. I've been privileged to speak in a lot of events this year. I think I've spoken in about 30 blockchain events this year. I'm also a builder. I built the community for the love of DeFi, and we're building basically for the love of DeFi is just a community where we help people get tech skills and we inspire them to become solution providers. I'm also an entrepreneur. I have a supermarket and I also have a clothing brand. I call it the Holos brand. So we do branded t-shirts and sweatshirts and all of that for techies and believers. I'm not done. I'm also a believer. This one I cannot outrule it. It's very important. I'm a child of God, right? And a very committed member of Ferris Nation. So please move. So if you want to get to meet me, get to know about me, I just launched my website. I launched it on my birthday last week. www.gakpan.com. You should check it out. I mean, you'll see my book. I wrote a book, launched it on my birthday too. The title of the book is Niching Down, Finding Your Space in the Digital World. Okay, so let me start this afternoon. And this is like the opening statement of the year. It's a simple statement. One of the statements that I think captures my mantra, captures what I'm doing, what I'm building at FTLD. It's the fact that humanity thrives on innovation. I say it every single time, and every time I say it, there's a fresh inspiration that comes with it for me. The truth is, when our speaker, the first speaker, or Iche, was speaking, he talked about Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. Did we listen to that part?
Yes.
Yeah. What you will see is evolution, right? Is that true?
Yes.
What you will see is innovation. Is that true? Right?
Yes.
Because there was a point where all we could do was read from our website, but we moved to a point where we're not just reading, but we're also interacting. We had Web 1, then we had Web 2, and now we are moving to another phase where we are not just interacting, but we have access to our data. We own our data. Okay? So what we see is innovation. What we see is mankind adapting to changes that is making life easier. Is that true? So there was a time where if you wanted to pay your school fees, you go to the bank. Right? Is that true? There was another time where if you wanted to pay your school fees, you don't necessarily need to go to the bank. Maybe you go to a POS guy, right? Yes. Now, we have gotten to a point where we can just sit on our laptops and pay our school fees. Is that true? Yes. What is the next level? The next level will be to integrate cryptocurrency into our educational system. And if we want to pay our school fees, it's much easier. You don't want to depend on your bank network or any intermediaries. So that's where we are going to. There was a time where all we had was a physical world and a spiritual world, right? Now we've gone past it though. We now have what we call a virtual world, the metaverse. So just like you can become a village person and chase somebody in the dream, you can enter the metaverse, plug into it, and have your normal activities. And if we are talking about all of this innovation, it means that the hope of humanity is built on this innovation. So we can gladly say that humanity is dependent on innovation. And that's why this is a very solid fact. humanity thrives on innovation. And the safety of the future, how we are sure that things will get better for us, is when we are able to embrace these innovations. So one of the things that we'll see this afternoon is that smart contract itself is an innovation. So please pan out to the next slide. Thank you. Alright, so smart contracts are also products of innovation. What is a smart contract? Very easy. So I'll just talk about smart contracts as we proceed. So what smart contracts help us achieve? And I'll try to not be so technical because I feel like we have a lot of newbies in the house. Although I'm seeing some big faces, big names, Pius, I'm seeing you, big names, big names, big names. I'm seeing my chief there, Iche. I'm seeing all of you guys, big names. So it's good to have you around. Thank you. So let's celebrate them now. So smart contracts are helping us have automated executions because they are simply codes. Don't worry, I'll explain. They are simply codes that help us to build applications, help us to carry out transactions. However, hello dear. However, not in the traditional manner. Okay, so smart contracts are the things that we are using in today's decentralized finance systems. And I'll explain. You're staking, if you are coming into decentralized finance, there are things that you start learning about things like staking, lending. What makes these things possible are smart contracts. Okay, so let me explain this using DeFi. So we have traditional banking systems, where we have your UBA, right? And in UBA, we use only Naira, or we use dollars as well in UBA, right? Is that true? Since UBA is like a default bank. So now, when you want to carry out a transaction in UBA, you need the bank server to be working. Is that true? If there's no network in the bank, will your transaction go through? No. That's a problem. One. So, number one problem is that the authority is centralized. So if their server fails, our transaction will not go through. That's one, right? Number two, if UBA decides that they want to take 10 Naira out of everybody's account registered in UBA, can you do anything about it? No. No. What can you do? You will write. You take out your money. Out of the 10 Naira. Go. So what's the essence? So at the end of the day, since they are holding your money, they can do anything they like with your money. So there's a problem with authority. Right? So number one, network failure. Number two, what are we seeing again? Authority. We don't own our money. Do you know that? Again, these folks go as far as using your savings to make investments and they don't give you any money in return. Yes. Is that true? Yes. So again, there is no authority. You don't really own your money. And sometimes, if they want to close down these banks, do you know they can shut down on you and all your money is gone? Our parents used to experience it that time. It used to happen. Right? It's now that things are a bit better. Is that true? So that's another problem. Another problem is that sometimes when you want to make large volume transactions, EFCC will come to your house. Yes. Is that true? Yes. So they are tracking you. In fact, I heard that Kuda did something very stupid, and that paid me. They reported somebody that made large volume transactions to EFCC. So he was having issues with the bank, and they told him that he should come to the office. And when he got to the office, they picked him. So that's a problem for you. It means I can't really trust your bank. So another thing is that there is no anonymity. There is no, you can't carry out transactions anonymously. Okay? So that's another problem. How did DeFi come to solve this problem? Have I stated some problems? Have you seen it for yourself?
Yes.
Very good. So they introduced something called the blockchain. Because I tell you, as a matter of fact, humanity thrives on innovation. And what we should do in this generation is that we should be looking for problems that we can solve, that we can bring solutions for. Because these are the things that will make us exceptional in the world. True progress, or I always say, when I went to Accra, I told them the same thing. I said there are two kinds of people: the ones that are looking for money and the ones money is looking for. The people that money is looking for are the people that are creating solutions to problems. So until you become the next biggest solution provider, I tell you, as a matter of fact, you will keep looking for money. Money will follow value. So create value. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Exactly. So people saw that there were problems and they decided to solve these problems by building solutions, a solution called DeFi. Can you hear me? I have just 20 minutes or less than. Alright, I think I should be having timers now in my speaking engagements. But that's just fine. So, solution, they provided a solution called DeFi. What is DeFi? DeFi is decentralized finance. They are taking the authority of one body and giving it to everybody. This is democracy. So, they created this solution. They called it DeFi. And with DeFi now, you can make transactions from your phone, pair to pair. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go into the technology, but you can make transactions pair to pair. You don't need to go to any bank. You just need to find a cryptocurrency project or a blockchain where you want to use to make transactions. And there are different kinds of blockchain. There is the Cardano blockchain, of course. And each blockchain has its own features, its own capabilities. Like the Ethereum blockchain allows you to build on it. You can't build on the Bitcoin blockchain. You can build on Ethereum. Now from Ethereum we have other blockchains. We have Polygon, we have BSC, we have Cardano. In fact, last week I was speaking at Injective. Different blockchains with different use cases. Although today we'll be focusing on what?
Cardano.
Thank you very much. So they have their use cases, they have their differences. One, they are solving problems like issues with scalability, issues with speed, transaction fees, all of that. They are solving those problems because they are problems that people are still looking for solutions for. Is it making sense? So there is still building ongoing even as people are bringing solutions. So there are solutions built on solutions. Is it making sense? When I talked at XRP, I told them that the blockchain has limitations. And it's the fact that the blockchain programming language or the programming language we use to build smart contracts, Solidity, is still very new. So people are exploring it. People are finding the vulnerabilities and they are getting so much money from that. How about you come and build a solution to that problem? So already we have innovations, but I still tell you, there's still room for more innovation. There's still room. And so that's why we're having more builders in the space we do. We're having people who are creating value in the space we do. While you are seeking for jobs, while you are saying, I want to finish school so that I can have a job, somebody is saying, I want to finish, I want to get a skill that I can use to develop a solution. And this is what will bring you the real money. So, I think we should stop having that mindset of gimme, 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 and have that mindset of let me create this thing. Okay? Say I'm an innovator. Yeah, because everybody, I'm sorry, I have to bring God in at this point. If God is an innovator, we are innovators if we are in His image. Does it make sense? They have that ability to innovate. You do. You actually do. You just need to discover it. It doesn't have to be you building a smart contract per se. It could just be you sitting in front of the camera and building something that will be valuable. Because even those guys that make us laugh, they are providing us value. After working all through the day, somebody is making you laugh. It's not easy. It's value. So while you are watching Lai Wasabi, or you are watching, what's his name now? Sabinus, or whoever it is, understand that these guys are offering value to you. They are not wasting time. And that's why they deserve the money they are getting. If you want to be funny, try it. It's not easy. Try to be funny. You discover it's actually not easy. So everybody has something. We just need to discover. And when I wrote my book, Niching Down, I told them, I wrote in the book that the first way to discover yourself or what you should do in the digital space is to find yourself. Some people don't have the eye for coding. They don't have the brain for coding. I'm sorry. You try from today to tomorrow, you cannot code. And it's sad, but well, you can't code. I'm sorry, but you actually cannot. It's not your thing. And it's not a problem. Do you get? Your own might just be, you have a good mind for investment. So there is a space for you in Web3. You have a good eye for design. There's a space for you in NFTs. You have a good eye for looking charts. You can analyze things. There's a space for you in trading cryptocurrencies. You just need to discover you. Then you will know where you should put your energy into. Is that making sense? Let's come back to smart contracts. So in the DeFi space, if we want to carry out transactions now, transactions are done from pair to pair. And there are systems that enable us to carry out these transactions. There are various systems, like he was talking about it, the proof of work, the proof of stake, different algorithms that make transactions possible. Different algorithms. Are you guys listening to me? Different ones. Okay? And behind this, there are features. So we have a DeFi project like, which one should I highlight now? Let me highlight Condex because it's one I'm very good at. Condex is a financial platform that they tokenize real world assets. They make it tokenized, okay? They make, like say you want to buy gold, you can have gold as a virtual asset, okay? You can have it as a virtual asset. You can have silver as a virtual asset. You can have oil, stocks. They tokenize all these things. Because just like we are moving from a phase where, if you notice, pay attention to yourself, we are gradually moving from a phase where we are holding cash in our pockets to holding just our ATM, right? Very soon, it will not be ATM, it will be just crypto. That's the world we are moving into. And I tell you, if we don't embrace innovation, we'll be left behind because the world that we see today is moving. It's moving. We now have smart cities, we have smart countries. Is that not true? We have countries that they own their own social media applications. We have social media applications built on the blockchain. We have houses that if you step in, you tell yourself, lights on. You tell your house, lights on, it will come on. All those things are happening today. And it is left for us to either embrace it or just leave it. We will be the one that will be left behind. Right? So I tell people every time, I was privileged to talk to, sorry I talk a lot to people. I was privileged to talk to some adults and I told them, your children will ask you why you did not invest in cryptocurrencies. And it's true. Because we have the time now. It's still very early, actually. They say I have 5 minutes, so let me rush. So in the DeFi space, what we use are smart contracts. Smart contracts enable us to stake. Let me just use staking. Staking is like I'm saving my money at the bank and I'm getting a return on my investment. In your bank, you are getting, let's say, 1%. Is that not true? I see them send me 5 naira at the end of every month. I'm wondering who has that 5 naira. But they send you 1% or they send you maybe 5%. Your return on investment is very low in traditional banks, right? But in decentralized finance systems, in decentralized finance platforms, the rate of the return on investment is very high. You can have as high as 100%. You can have up to 250% ROI. They call it APY or APR. When you come in, you learn more about these things. So the thing, let me say, the code that enables you to stake this money and get a return on investment automatically without anybody, having to do anything. There's a code. It's a code that does it. So they just decide. Let's say we decide in the community that we want to increase the staking return on investment to 250. I'll run it into the system, and there will be, I'm just using very, very lay terms, there will be a code that is automated to carry it out, right? That code is called a smart contract. So when I stake 50 tokens, now let me say this, by the way, he asked what a token is. A token is different from a cryptocurrency. They're two different things. A cryptocurrency can be a token, but a token is not always a cryptocurrency. Is that okay? So let's say you stake your tokens. A token is a smaller unit of a blockchain. So we have different blockchains. Like we have Cardano, we have ADA, like you were saying, right? So that's just by the way. We can call ADA a cryptocurrency and a token. That's just when you advance in the space, you see all these things for yourself. So let's say I stake ADA. Let's say there's a staking feature and I stake ADA. Now, my return on investment will be 250. So after a period of time, let's say after an epoch, because they use things called epochs. After an epoch, especially in the Cosmos ecosystem, after an epoch, I'm getting a return on my investment. I'll have about 5 or 10 more ADAs added to my initial investment. And what makes this possible is a smart contract. So people use smart contracts for different things. Please pan out because of time. People use smart contracts for different things. I said here, and let's read together. I said here, imagine you are buying a vending machine snap. You put your money in, you select your snap. What's going on? Help me. You select your snap, and the machine dispenses it. That's the essence of smart contract. It is an automated agreement that executes itself when certain conditions are met. So when we meet the condition of I impute 50, I should get back something automatically. It's automatic, okay? Nothing should stop it. Nothing should interrupt it. Do you understand? But your normal bank, they can change on the way, on their own. They can just decide to change it from 1% to 0.5%. Right? So nothing should stop it. So you should think of the vending machine, but instead of snacks and drinks, it deals with agreements and transactions. It's a self-executing program that runs on a secure computer network called what? Blockchain. Thank you very much. So let's move. Alright, so I broke it down. I said the terms and conditions. Number one, smart contract works with terms and conditions. You impute the code, you decide what you want your code to do. So I'll wrap up, don't worry. You put your code into the contract, you deploy it on the blockchain, and there's automatic execution. Turn out, please, because of time. Alright, so I said here that the best way to predict the future is to create it. That's what Peter Drucker said. And let me wrap up because of time. The best way, that's it. So the best way to build up, to predict the future is to create it. And there's so much that is involved in building. There's so much. If you're going to become a developer, there are certain things that you will need to master. You will need to master the art of strategy. You need to master the art of focus and consistency. Because and you need to master the art of patience. Because every builder, and I'm telling you as a matter of fact, every builder needs to have patience as a virtue. Patience, because even when you are coding, your code will fail you. I'm building a community, and I know we've implemented so many strategies to build this community. And sometimes it doesn't turn out fine. Sometimes we get results. Sometimes we don't get results. Every builder needs to have patience first as a virtue. Every builder needs to have a strategy for building. Don't just build anything. I want build projects. I want build projects. Your project will not even go past development phase. I won't build, I won't build. You've not strategized, you've not done market research, you've not checked how many people have built solutions to the problem that I'm saying, because that thing that you think is in your head as an idea, $1 billion idea, somebody else has it somewhere. That's the truth. So part of the things that you need to do is market research. You need to research, see your competitors, see what they are doing. What will be your unique selling points when you are building? If you're going to be building on Cardano, how many people have built things related to what you say you're building? I want to build a social media on the blockchain. Do you know how many social medias are on the blockchain already? There's nothing different. You see, I started having a problem when I built my community. And the problem was, from my community alone, 10 communities came out of my community. And I did not know. And that was the problem. I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the day, they did not have a strategy for the communities they were building. And so most of them packed up. If, I'm not laughing at them, everybody needs strategy. Now, if you don't have strategy, your product cannot be sustainable. And that's the truth. We build sustainable products when we have strategies. So if you want to build, you want to go into something, you want to become a developer, you want to build the next $1 billion, you want to build Paystack so that you can collect how many billion, it's fine. That's a good one, right? However, have strategy. Do your market research. Check out. Follow trends. I said it here. Please move. Move. Where is it not here? Oh, sorry. I'm almost done. Let's see. So, I pray I'm almost done. Alright. So, if you want to build, you need to have, let me close my tabs. If you want to build, you need to have strategy. There are many things you should know. Let's say you want to build on Cardano. You shouldn't be building on something you don't understand. So, if I want to build on Cardano please, the first thing will be to understand Cardano, the blockchain. What is Cardano about? Why should I build on Cardano? Right? And they said here, I took this from the Cardano website. They said Cardano is a blockchain platform for change makers. That means it's a good place to build. Is that not true? I want your response. Yes. Thank you. Maybe I look forward. With the tools and technologies required to create possibilities for many. So it's a good place for builders already. I will leverage on Cardano. I will look for opportunities in Cardano. I will check out solutions that are already being built in Cardano. I will now learn. I will now check out next one. I will check out what is the language that we use in Cardano. Because on Ethereum, we build using Solidity. In the Cosmos ecosystem, we build using Rust. These are programming languages that you need to learn if you want to become a developer. You know, they say a web developer is not a software engineer. I'm still trying to understand that statement. So you need to have a deep understanding of the Cardano blockchain. You need to explore various use cases. You need to learn the language used in building smart contracts on Cardano. On Cardano we have Malo. I pronounced this thing several times in my head while I was rehearsing for this. And Plutus. Okay, so these are two programming languages you want to learn. And let me tell you, can I see this? I'll just say this so that I'm not moving. The earlier the better. Right? The earlier the better. The earlier you start building, the better for you. Because as we wait, as we procrastinate, the spaces are getting more saturated. If you want to be an ambassador only in 2023, if you want to be a content creator in 2024, my dear, you might not really have the space. There are so many content creators to do. So the earlier you start, the better. Because I tell you, Web3 development is the next big thing. And this is not just, it's not a threat, I'm not threatening you, it's a fact. It's the next big thing. Cryptocurrencies, DeFi, blockchain, they are the next big thing. We've had our time where what was trending was, I'm a tech bro, I code, I build websites. How many tech bros do you hear about these days that really have the money? All of them are entering Web3 today. You find a lady who is a smart contract developer, she's a hot cake. You find a lady who does Web3 product design, she's a hot cake. Why? Because the space is not really saturated just yet. But I tell you, in the coming year, as we continue to host events like this, more eyes will be opened and more people will jump in. So I tell you, the earlier the better. If you want to build, look at that person beside you. Tell the person, build now. Build now. Tell the person very well, build now. Build now. There's no better time. There's no better time to build than now. Build your knowledge. I see people going after the money at the beginning. No. Look at all the OGs in the space. They had to go through different bear markets. You've not even gone through one bear market. You want to become an OG, you form a community. You don't even understand what is happening on the blockchain. And you are already writing things you don't even understand. So understand what you are going into. Do a market survey. Check out competitors. Check out various people that are doing similar things to what you want to do. Understand the programming language. Understand the IDE, the platform where you'll be writing your code. Understand testing and simulation. Understand that you need to join Cardano communities because that's where you will draw inspiration. That's where you get connections. Is that okay? Let's pan out, please. Thank you. So, humanity thrives on innovation, and the world is waiting for you to build the next biggest solution to our problems. Thank you.